Man, I just don't know. I mean, yes, this is a cool looking figure, but there's so much reuse. They really just sold us an extra head. And all the cool stuff, I mean, I've had to do that myself, but at the same time, he is big, chunky, and colourful. You know what? I need an extra opinion on this. Beep, boop, 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 beep.
Hello, Moe's Tavern.
Oh, I'm sorry, wrong number.
Listen to me, you. When I catch you, I'm gonna pull out your eyes and shove them down your pants so you can watch me kick the crap out of you, okay? Then I'm gonna use your tongue to paint my boat.
Alright. What's your problem? Boop. How'd it go? Beep, boop, 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 beep, boop, boop.
A Doctor Doom head on a Galactus. Whatever will they think of next? Oh, my phone. Hello.
Hey, Ash, it's Dave from Model Behaviour. How's it going, brother?
I'm doing good, just laughing at the HasLab, but other than that.
I know, man. Where the heck did they get that idea from? Anyway, I was wondering, do you have the Maestro Hulk?
Maestro? Yeah, man, I've got him here.
Man, I'm glad you said that, because I just don't know if I like him. I needed some more convincing.
What do you mean you don't know if you like him or not? Man, it's an awesome figure. We've been waiting for this for so long.
You know what, mate? When you're right, you're right. And with you, you're always right. So, yeah, I guess he is awesome. Thanks for that.
Alright, man. No worries anyway. Thanks for asking me, bro. Appreciate it. Speak to you soon.
Alright, bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye. Boop.
He asked me. Take that, Shadow's Prime.
There's a new Street Fighter on your windowsill. The weapon is peace. The word is chill.
Hello there, gang, and welcome to another episode of Displaying Model Behaviour, the Earth's most gamma-irradiated action figure video podcast. So take off your pants, crack a beer, and let's talk toys. This is going to be the first of a hopefully weekly show that I do, in which I show you what I have purchased this week. Sometimes it'll be a nothing episode. There are sad times. Sometimes your pre-orders don't come in. There's nothing that's saying, buy me, Dave. To be honest, there's always something saying that. But other times, it's going to be a spoil of riches that come in. And this week is what I would say is one of the better weeks. Yeah. I thought it's time to buy a present for me. So I went to Forbidden Planet, and this is what I got. First of all, the big one that I sort of wasn't expecting to get but kind of wanted, the Alpha Predator. Now, I don't collect NECA Predators as a general rule. It's just not something that I go down. I don't go down the Predator street because it's probably a dangerous one. But I've always been looking at this guy ever since he first turned up. I saw him and I was like, geez, he does look pretty. This is the 100th Predator that NECA have made. So they went all out with this guy, and they seriously did. This I was happy to make an exception for. The main reason I finally went for him, though, is because I could justify it because I have what I like to call my shelf of badassery. Because before I'd say, well, there's no point in getting one Predator because I have nowhere for him to go. It doesn't make any sense. Whereas now, he just goes on the shelf of badassery, and he fits right in. He fits like a glove. He's like, hey guys, this is where I've always belonged. Because just look at him. He's fantastic. First of all, the thing that catches your eye the most, without a shadow of a doubt, is the beautiful, also disgusting, pearlescent kind of color scheme. It's a sheen. The light kind of reflects and bounces off of it. You wouldn't want to call him like a rainbow predator, but he's totally a rainbow predator. And you know what? He can pull it off because he is the most awesome looking guy you can imagine. So first of all, we've got two different looks, of course. We've got the unmasked head and we have the face mask as well. And you know what? I haven't actually tried putting the mask properly on him yet because I want to have this gorgeous, ugly mug on display. But from what I've seen, it doesn't look easy to maneuver it on there. So I'll play around with that later, but I'm expecting some irritation. It's like I know that there is going to be irksomeness in my future, but I'm prepared for it. I'm prepared for it for you. I'm going to do that for you. Those are my Predator voices. I was translating. So yeah, first of all, he's just got extra detail that you wouldn't expect from your regular Hasbro. What am I saying? You definitely wouldn't expect more detail from Hasbro, that's for sure. But he's got more detail than you would expect from an average NECA release. They have really gone all out on taking the Predator armor and designs and then turning them into kind of a caveman sort of aesthetic. It's like, how would this Predator make the same armor and weapons, but in a Stone Age kind of way? Because that's the backstory of this. This is like the first ever hunter Predator. The backstory they give you is that the Predator race were actually enslaved by a different race of aliens, which I think, in my headcanon, makes sense that these guys would not be able to design cloaking technology and interstellar travel. Just look at them. What, like, is there a Predator scientist? Is that like a Predator university where Predators go to learn about quantum physics? I doubt it. But I could imagine that a more advanced race, like the Engineers or something, they would come to the Predator's planet and be like, hey, what's up? Here, have some awesome technology. We want to see what you do with it. Because, I mean, let's face it, I drive a car, but I don't know how it works. I imagine that's the same with Predators. They don't actually know how the technology works, they just know how to use it. And then there's another race of aliens who are like, don't worry, we'll fix this up for you. That's my headcanon that makes sense. Otherwise, you start thinking about like a whole Predator society that's advanced enough to make interstellar travel. And it's like, that doesn't work for these animalistic hunting creatures. There's got to be some middleman who does that for them. But I'm digressing. Speaking of the technology, like the wrist gauntlets, for example, the wrist gauntlets that you always expect for the Predator has been recreated with like a saber-toothed tiger jawbone. I love that kind of idea. And then rather than having a plasma caster on his back, he's just got this kind of extra piece of armor with what looks like a gem or a jewel kind of dug in there. Then very cavemanish, we've got the extra teeth and the furry kind of butt shield, I guess I'll call it, the old butt protector. That's just so much detail going in here with the different washes on the bones to bring out the shadows and the colors. I could spend half an hour just waxing lyrical on how beautiful this guy is, especially the actual teeth on the mandibles. I think they've gone for such a perfect color where it's not a bright white, it's not a Colgate white. This guy doesn't floss, which would be quite easy considering the gaps between the mandibles, but that's another story. But they've gone for this horrible, dark, yellowy, bony sort of look, which just looks awesome. Then his little piercing red eyes in his head. Everything, just the more I look at it, the more I'm like, oh, so glad I got you. And this guy is part of a list. I have a list of figures. I don't know if you have one too, you might do, which is a list of figures that you can't really justify getting, but you do want. And if you ever get to the end of the week and you've got like a little bit of surplus cash, you've paid all your bills, you've bought everything you need to, you've survived another week and you're like, hey, I got another 20, 30 bucks in my account. What can I do with it? That's what this guy came from. He came from that list. And I'm so glad that now he can go on the shelf. Absolutely love this guy. Now I'm going back to dance with what brung me. It's Hasbro Marvel Legends. And again, two figures that I maybe wasn't thinking of getting, but the whims that take you over when you're on the road and you haven't bought anything for a while, and then you go into Forbidden Planet and you pick up Quasar. Oh my god, this guy, he's not anything spectacular. I'll say that now. He is a basic Marvel legend, but what we've got here is really nice. I mean, let's face it, we have all had Cosmic Marvel on the brain for the whole summer. We've all been thinking Galactus, Heralds, Silver Surfer, all this kind of thing. So I've been going on a major cosmic kick. I am so glad that I didn't sell all my cosmic figures, because I was tempted to. That was a whole thing. That was a video I made about, I'm going to sell these figures. Whew, I'm so glad I held off, because now I am all about the cosmic figures. I've just started reading Annihilation Wave. That came out a few years ago. That's like a good showcase for modern cosmic Marvel. And now I'm just all over these characters. And right here we've got Quasar with his Robert Redford looking head, which is kind of funny, but it's unique. You don't have any other heads that look like this on your shelf. Now, the figure is just bright. Bright and bold and colourful, and also I like the fact, unusually, because normally I'm like a magpie, I like shiny things, I like that it's a flat red, because it just looks kind of brighter, more primary colours. He really pops on the shelf. I love the Quasar detailing with the logo symbol on his chest there, and also we've got this fire effect which has been used a million times, but for whatever reason it just looks more glowing. I don't know, maybe because it's fresh out of the box, it's got that lovely fresh Marvel Hasbro kind of smell to it, but he has 2 of those. But you've got to mix things up. Why would you have 2 glowing effects when you can have a different hand as well? Because he comes with 2 hands as well. 2 effects and 2 pairs of hands. I'm happy with that. You hear that, Hasbro? Like that's good. Another head would be nice, but it's not essential. That's cool. And he's got the open palm hand, which normally I don't like, but for flying characters, like if you get them mid-flight, that can work really well. I think that's totally dynamic. I'm loving this stand. I can't remember who this stand came with, but when you tighten up the screws, it holds really well. So yeah, the only thing I'll say, because of his Robert Redford hair, which is glorious, he doesn't need to wear a headband to cover his receding hairline. That's why I do it. I'm so vain. But because of his hair, you can't angle his head back as far as you would maybe like to. So if he's flying, he's not looking where he should be all that much. But you can cheat that by arching his body. You see, I've got his back bent a little bit, which again, beautiful torso articulation there, allows you to have him looking up. It's a very Superman pose. And speaking of Superman, he's got the cape as well, and I underestimated the cape. I thought it was just a plain blue old cape, but then you see underneath, you've got this whole star pattern here, and that is beautiful. I really, really love that. So with the star pattern, the bright, bold colors, the flame effects, I'm really digging Quasar. I cannot wait until this time next year, if not a little bit further, where we'll be able to add Galactus and all the other heralds and whatever other cosmic characters have come out in the next year. I'm excited just thinking about it, and I'm so happy to have Quasar. Alright now, gang, it's time for your main event. Coming out of a gamma-irradiated wasteland, weighing in at 2,058 pounds, it is the Maestro Hulk, already bedecked in some of his trophies and accoutrements, if you will, because that's the whole thing about this figure. You gotta decorate him. That's where the real value lies. Because, okay, let me take you on a little story, a little trip down memory lane. I was so psyched when they announced this guy, because I was like, finally, I've been wanting a Maestro Hulk for ages. So of course I pre-ordered him instantly, and then the dust started to settle and reality started to creep in, and I was like, wait a minute. They've just swapped a head onto the original Hulk body and done nothing else, which wouldn't be so egregious if not for the fact that the Maestro, in his classic Maestro form, has actual proper boots and trousers and a belt, and there's so much more that should go onto him, and that started to grind my gears, and especially when I realised that the look he has here, yes, it is his Old Man Logan appearance, but even more so it's his Gamerverse appearance. Ugh. So it really turned me off the idea of Maestro, because I was like, you know what? They're just going to give us a proper Maestro in a couple of years. Maybe I should hold out and wait. So I cancelled my pre-order. I lost the tree fiddy that I paid for the deposit, because I was like, no, I don't want him. And then, of course, finally, I see him in store, and I'm like, oh, son of a gun. He looks really, really good. So I caved in. I got him because I knew how much fun I would have. I saw people decorating him with all of their various bits of kit, and I was like, I need to do this. I need to be a part of the conversation. I need to be on board, and I'm so glad that I did, because now that I got him and I've played around with him and I've thrown all this stuff on, he looks so cool. Also because I had Ash tell me, Dave, stop being a numpty. This guy's awesome. And he is. So yes, of course, it would be nicer to have proper trousers and boots and official decorations and trophies. But failing those, what we have, you can tart up like a whore's drawers, and he looks terrific. I particularly, toss, love the Juggernaut helmet, which was my idea, okay? Before anyone else posted their pictures, I retroactively had that idea, alright? That was the first thing that came to mind. And you can't prove it, alright? But I'm saying this little brainwave of putting his hand through the broken Juggernaut helmet, that was up here first, alright? And the fact that this actually goes on so easily. No hot water, no bubbling, popping, no nothing, just puts his fist right in there and it just goes on the shoulder. Nothing like this happens in the comics. Doesn't matter. it looks amazing. So yeah, that's awesome. Got the Iron Man helmet, the Ultron, and again, I can't really include this as the review because all of this is just extra, but the extras make all the difference, and it's what you do with it. It allows for a bit of creativity from you. You can see in my splicey picture-in-picture, I have gone ham with his posing sort of decorative stand, which just looks incredible now. So many things that were just sitting in my fodder box can now be put to good use. The Stan Lee Captain America shield, the Muramasa blade, the Black Knight helmet, all these different things that were just rattling around can now actually be on display. So that's so cool. Plus you can throw on the Old Man Logan 2-pack as well, which maybe they don't really cross paths with this version of Hulk. Doesn't matter. Just makes for an awesome display. So yeah, I love this guy. It took time to come around on him, and he ended up costing me more than he really should have, because I lost my deposit and then bought him in the store, which cost more than the website. But you know what? I don't care. The hair looks great, blowing in the wind. Really, what really sets apart for me was the wash. He's got kind of like a dark green wash that brings out the nuances and the details in the musculature. And then, of course, he's got his big wrist gauntlets. At least that's something extra they put on there. And what's nice is the gauntlets aren't kind of perfect. They've got little dings and dents and scuffs and scrapes, so it looks like he is like a warlord who's been in all these battles. Then at least one thing I can say they did nail is the Maestro head sculpt itself. And let's face it, that's the main thing they have to hit, because everything else is reused. But they have done a great job on here. An awesome, stern, mean kind of look. No rah! But just like he's got a face that you don't want to mess with. You know you're going to be in trouble if you end up coming face to face with this guy. Then he's got his necklace, which is fine. I would say that if they wanted to go one extra mile with the head, like maybe some little spots or lumps or bumps to make it look a bit more gnarly would have been nice. But really, the eyes have it. The eyes with the lines and the furrows in the brow. That looks really mean and menacing. So on the whole, even though I've been on such a tumultuous journey to get around to this figure, the fact that I now have it makes me so happy. I would highly recommend this guy. Yeah, maybe they'll go releasing another one in a couple of years, but I'm still going to get a couple of years where I love having this one. So I think that all works out pretty well. The only question now is, do I get Compound Hulk? I think that might be a bridge too far, but still, this guy, he's so heavy, so hefty, so awesome. I absolutely love the Maestro. And guys, that is my review of my week in action figures. What did you think? Comment below, let me know. More to the point, what have you bought this week in action figures? This is definitely going to become a regular thing. So yeah, at the end of the year, I can look back at all the things that I've bought and all my spending and be like, ooh, but it's so worth it. Here we are. 3 for 3. 3 great figures. If I was going to order them, I'd say my number one favorite is the Maestro because of all the stuff you can do with him. Then my second favorite is going to be the Alpha Predator because of all the little details and the wonderful pearlescent paint job and the intricacy of what's been done there. And then finally, Quasar is a surprise hit because I was going to leave him so easily. I was going to leave him on the shelf. Then I got bitten by the cosmic kind of radioactive bug. Get a little Spider-Man in there too. And then I'm just so happy to have him. And again, in his flight stand with the Superman type pose and the cape. Yeah, I love this guy. So that was a fantastic week and I'm glad that I could share it with you. So guys, if you liked what you see here and you want to see more, then join the 6-1 clicks by clicking the like, share and subscribe button. And if you want to go one step further, if you are able to support the channel, then you can go up to patreon.com. Sorry, I tried to stop myself from spitting all over the microphone. It's very unbecoming. Go over to patreon.com/displaying model behavior and throw a few shekels my way, just like these incredible saviors of model behavior did. And they can go and enjoy all the various videos and whatnot on there. And yeah, that's my sales pitch. This is why I don't work as a used car salesman. I'd be terrible. I'm like, these are some cars. They're good. Alright, see ya! So folks, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, keep displaying model behavior.
Cheers.